Hey, JP, you think it's going to be a big year for Rattler?
Yeah, dude. I mean, last year, you look at their roster, obviously there was a whole issue with their head coach, the coaching staff. The roster was not a good roster. He did break Archie Manning's rookie record, passing yards in the season. But no, I think it's Kellen Moore's down there. I think they'll be a great duo. And I believe in Spencer Rattler because he's a Gamecock, but I just think he's so talented. He was highly touted as a young kid. He played well in college, and I think if you can just have a decent roster, he's going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know how the Saints will do. It feels like they just need to reset the entire thing.
Right.
They got a young QB room.
Yeah.
Because who was their draft pick? Tyler
Shuck.
Right?
Shuck, right?
Shuck.
Yeah.
Tyler Shuck.
Out of Louisville.
Louisville.
And they have Jake Hayner as also in the room.
Yeah.
I feel like the division's all Tampa this year. All Tampa.
Yeah.
But hopefully he takes a step where they're like, this is our guy for the future.
Right.
He just can play for 10, 15 years.
I know.
Other quarterbacks, Shadur Sanders. Sherman, were you saying the Cleveland Browns? Bringing up a bunch of stats.
He's breaking
up all,
Oh, yeah.
he's breaking all the stats in the entire world.
The trolling by the Cleveland fan base.
Cleveland fan base is getting weird because they were going after Mason Graham too. Showing him in some drills, being like, there's no way this is the 5th overall pick.
So they're trolling by talking about he has these record-breaking numbers for a rookie minicamp. And now it's obviously working everybody up because Shedeur Sanders has been such a talk since the whole draft.
Mm.
But you got to respect
28 for 30, 400 plus yards.
I love this one because it's very obviously a 40-yard pass.
Well,
It's just
I read that last night and I'm like, this guy, it's not 81 and a half yards. Like I'm now putting it together like, all right.
I'm not going to lie. I watched that video several times. Just be like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a troll because that's insane.
And then I'm like, wait, Baker
like he's not even
Mayfield
looking like
has
he's
the
throwing it that
longest
well.
pass? I'm literally like racking my brain. Because I'm like, it was a nice pass. I hope he does well.
That's gonna be news forever.
Oh, bro.
This whole entire offseason is all gonna be about
and media coverage for that quarterback room throughout all of
Gabriel,
training
yeah.
camp is
I
going to
know.
be insane.
Were you surprised that he went in the 5th round?
I was. I think from a talent standpoint, he obviously is greater than, was it 5th?
Yeah, 5th.
Fifth
Yeah, fifth
rounder. I don't know. I don't know how, what happened in the meeting room,
Right.
ill prepared, whatever it may be. But yes, I was, to answer your question, definitely surprised. I'm not one of those guys talking about collusion or anything like
Right.
that. But I hope he does well. I've watched more Colorado ball than I have being a former USC Trojan. Like I watched them and I'd watch Colorado because they were like must see TV. I wanted to see what Dion was doing, Shedeur, Travis, and so I hope he does well.
Yeah, I feel like he's put in the best position to do well now because he's learned early in his career how not to handle things. If some of these things are true, like the way he was handling himself in the meeting room, just the photo that Sherman just had up of him, the hat backwards and sideways while you're at the combine doing press. Like if you're an NFL quarterback, there's only 32 of you that start. Like there's a way you handle yourself, the way you operate, everything. And if you're a $1 billion corporation, you want to put your hands, you want to put everything on this guy. It's like you want him to represent your team in a certain way. So I hope he crushes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mixed because Dillon Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
Oregon cat. Just being around him for the short amount of time I was for the Oregon-Ohio State game, he's a dude that
man.
seems like he's got a good head and the shoulders, works super hard. Dan Lanning had a lot of good things to say about him. So I hope they're both successful. I don't know how that happens, but it'll be interesting to say the least. See how that all goes down.
And they get old Joe Flacco.
You think they're both on the roster week 1?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Over
Both on the
Flacco
roster?
and who was the other buddy?
You got
from
Deshaun Watson.
Well,
Deshaun
Kenny
Watson's
Pickett.
not going anywhere.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. They had Kenny Pickett. So Watson will be on IR, and then you got to get rid of either one. But you just don't give up on rookies like that, especially.
I think if they show enough promise, you might get
Keep
rid of
them
Joe.
both. And just
You
say
could get
screw
a,
it.
you
But
could get a practice
he-
squad.
he's
You
not
could
a
get a practice
long-term-
squad guy.
I know, but you need Joe to be the to be in that locker room, the quarterback room, to show these guys how to be a professional.
I don't disagree with you because you take Joe out of that locker room, it definitely gets weird.
It'll be Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur, Pickett that get cut. Like Joe is going to be on the.
Pickett's going to be the one that gets cut.
It would probably be Pickett if
both those young quarterbacks show enough.
But you're looking at 5 quarterbacks here. Really, it's 4. Like Deshaun Watson, like he's going to be on IR, and I feel like even with the Browns with the money, he's going to be on the roster, but he's not really in the room.
And Mitch, to your point, like 5th round, you're a draft pick, but
Yeah,
like
you can be
Dillon will probably be on the roster because he was a third rounder.
Yeah.
Third round.
And they went and got him at third round.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
My thing is though, why would you waste a draft pick on them? I feel like your draft pick should stay on the roster unless they have like a poor preseason. But like if you cut a draft pick, you just wasted a pick.
Well, I don't think
you
they're
get to
planning
5, 6,
to cut
7.
him, but
That can happen though.
I know, but like that just seems like in my head, that just seems like dumb for a franchise to waste a 5th, 6th, 7th round.
they're
draft
probably
pick.
not going into it thinking they're going to cut him. Like they
well,
want
they're
the
also
room
not
to be
thinking
the room.
it's a waste too. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously they were happy with their 3rd round pick in Gabriel, but you know now you have somebody who, for whatever reason, has fallen to the 5th. You're like, all right, let's take a chance. Let's see if he can do it.
If Pickett exceeds their expectations, that's where it's like you'd have Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and maybe you try and get Shedeur on the practice squad. If that's how it were to play out, like again, it's like they're all going to be in a spot to where they can win a job.
Could you imagine Shedeur gets cut, the media frenzy that'll happen, or if he's a practice squad guy? I don't think.
Well, it's going to be a media frenzy no matter what.
I think
No matter what, dude.
I don't think they'll allow him to get cut just because of who he is, and like I know the NFL doesn't really care about that, but like
Bro, they won't operate like that.
That's
just not how.
They won't.
He's in the league now.
He's in the league.
I think if
You got
you
a chance
see
now.
Pickett, Shedeur, and Dillon all show promise where you're like, okay, one of these guys could be our quarterback long term.
Mhm.
There's a world you get rid of Flacco because you have all of camp of Flacco. They learn from Flacco then, but like he's a short term answer, and these are some long term guys. So you, as a franchise, you want to invest in the long term options. I mean, it sucks for Flacco because he is a dog still.
But to Clay's point, it's like you have somebody in there who would be a pro and teach them how to be a pro. Like I think
Yeah.
Joe will be on the roster no matter what.